Hello, I'm Sophia McFadden-Kiesling, the first year experienced librarian. In this tutorial, I want to show you how to sign into your library account and how to do a basic search in our search tool, Mardigian Search. You first have to go to our Mardigian Library website at library.umd.umich.edu before I start searching in the Mardigian Search database or signing into my account. All right, now that we're here, simply click on My Account in the top right-hand corner, select UM-Dearborn student, faculty, or staff, and then enter your unique name, which is going to be that first part of your UMich email, and then enter your password, which is going to be that email password. All right, then hit login. All right, and then you're logged in. You'll see your name in this top left-hand corner, and then you can see if you currently have any items checked out, or you can see if you have any holds or any fines on your account. All right, so now I'm going to go back to our homepage and show you Mardigian Search. Mardigian Search is a database that provides access to our library's books, ebooks, journal articles, streaming films, and more. It allows access to online resources and helps you to locate and place a hold on physical items to then be picked up in our library. Databases are compilations of information in an organized and searchable system. An example of a database you're probably quite familiar with is Netflix. Netflix is just a database of movies. This database can search through a lot of resources at the Mardigian Library. You'll see here that you can search through everything we have in our collection, or you can narrow it down. You can search just for articles that have been peer-reviewed. You can search by an author's name. You can search for course reserved materials. So what course reserves are those materials placed on hold by your instructor, available for a shorter checkout in order to be available for a large amount of students. So they might be available for 3 days to check out at a time, just so that you can read a few chapters, bring it back to the library, and then another student can check it out. All right, we can also search through our books and ebooks, search through our journals by title, and even our library subject guides, which are curated resources provided by librarians to help you do research specific to a subject area. All right, so to get us started, I'm just going to select everything, and I'm going to do a general search for body image. All right, so let's see what this comes up with. So 6,160,000 results. That's a lot of results. I'm going to want to narrow this down. So there's several ways I can do this. The first way is by refining my search up on this top left-hand corner, either by selecting full text online or scholarly and peer-reviewed, or just items in our physical library catalog. But what I think I want to start with is full text online. And I also want to go ahead and narrow down to scholarly and peer review. So first off, what does scholarly and peer review mean? It's the process of evaluating scientific, academic, or professional work by others working in the same field with similar credentials. For example, if I'm a child psychologist trying to get a paper published in the field of psychology, when I submit to a journal for publication, they're going to put my paper through that peer-reviewed process and have others in the field of psychology read through my work for accuracy. When an item is peer-reviewed, it means it has gone through this rigorous review process of essentially being fact-checked by others in the field to make sure that the paper doesn't have falsified or misleading information. This peer-reviewed process does a lot of work of fact-checking for accuracy for you. Throughout your time in college, you'll be asked to write papers where you cite peer-reviewed articles. Now you know how to quickly narrow down to them with Mardigian Search. All right, and before we had 6 million results, we're already down to 800,000. We can keep narrowing it down as we go, though. So now I just have full text online articles or full text online resources, scholarly and peer-reviewed. I can narrow down to books and ebooks. There aren't a whole lot because there aren't a whole lot of examples of peer-reviewed books for this particular topic, but there are a lot of journal articles. And I think that's where I want to start, is by looking at what journal articles have been written about this topic. All right, so I'm going to click that. It's narrowed it down just a little bit. Other ways I could narrow it down are by the publication date. So for my specific search here, I don't have a specific time period I really care about. Probably within the last 5 years would be good. But right now it doesn't matter a whole lot to me just because I'm trying to just see what's out there on the subject. But you'll see that has really narrowed it down. So you can either select within the last 5 years it's been published, the last 3 years, last 12 months, or you can go ahead and slide this scale out to pick the publication date you want it to be between. So I'm going to go ahead and pick, actually let's make it the last 10 years. Let's make it 2010 to 2020. All right, so 500,000 results. That's pretty good. And what this could really be useful for is if you are studying a subject that changes very frequently. So a subject like medicine, if you're studying pre-med, or if you are studying any science classes, a lot of scientific discoveries happen within the last couple of years that might be of interest to you. Doesn't mean that scientific discoveries within the last 60 years are no longer relevant. It just may mean that the specific one you're looking for is going to be more recently published. So you can play around with this and figure out the time period you're most interested in. All right, the next thing I want to show you is that you can narrow down by discipline. So you can click this more here to see them all lined up. And you can see that you can click the green check mark here to include an item or the X mark to exclude it. And I'm just going to go down and see what interests me. So my general search is body image. I'm probably interested in the biology of our views on body image. The chemistry, not so much. Computer science, definitely not. Drama might be interesting, but I'm going to keep scrolling down until I find something that really interests me. So let's see. So I go to psychology, that's probably a good one, or public health, see how that relates to body image. But what these are just suggestions of keywords that have been tagged in various articles, tagged by either the author or the publisher or the vendor itself to help you find the most relevant information. So by discipline, this is just saying that all these search results you're going to see now are going to be within these disciplines. All right, let's see. So it's at 590,000 results. Now I'm down to 136,000. That really narrowed it down. All right, so other ways I can narrow it down are by subject term. So if I click here for more again, I can see different subject terms that might interest me. Let's see, and I already have, again, if you remember, I've already selected biology, public health, psychology. Let's see what else goes with that. It might be interesting to see how age plays a factor in body image. Let's see. Children, I could look at how children perceive body image. I could look at how females of a certain age or female children perceive body image. That might be really interesting to look at. As you can see, there are lots of different subject areas that you can narrow it down to. Some a little bit more obscure, like proteins, and some a little bit more perhaps relevant, like physiology. All right, let's scroll up. So I'm going to apply this, and let's see, now I have 42,000 results. All right, so this is, again, just one way of narrowing it down on this left-hand side. And a lot of these, you'll notice, are very similar to that initial search we were offered at the beginning when we chose to search everything. You could also search for journal article or book, ebook, but you're always able to narrow it down after you've selected everything at this menu here. So how else I'm going to narrow this down is by a few tricks on the actual search term itself. So instead of just having body image up there all alone, I'm going to add quotation marks, and you'll see here it has suggested searches for me here. This is just going to pop up anytime you start to type something, but I'm going to go with body image with quotation marks and college students, because that might be interesting, and see what it pops up. So what this is searching now is searching for just the phrase of body image and the phrase of college students, just as it appears here. So now I'm down to 509 results. And I can keep narrowing this down. So this kind of looks interesting to me though, gender and racial ethnic differences in body images. It might be something I want to look at later. So I'm going to go ahead and save this item. And this is going to save it up here. I'll show you that in a little bit. But I'm going to keep narrowing down. So I'm going to add another and this just means that I want to include all of these search terms together. And I'm going to search for the term mass media to see how body image, college students, and mass media are studied together. Let's see, impact of today's media on university students' body image in Pakistan. That could be really interesting. And you'll see, I'm just looking at the titles right now because I'm just doing an initial overview of it, but I could quickly preview the article by hitting preview, and I can see a quick abstract here. According to the International Health and Behavior Survey, which collects data from 22 countries, perceptions of overweight in young men and women across BMI deciles were similar across diverse regions of the world, but Asians showed higher levels of trying to lose weight. That might be something I'm interested in researching, so I'm going to save that item as well. All right, so you're going to keep looking through until you find some articles that really interest you. You can read them right now just by clicking right here, and it'll open it up in a new tab. And because you're already signed into your library account, you can view it right away. You can download it. It's really easy. Or you can just keep saving these articles for future use. And what this is going to do, I'm going to click right here in my saved items, is this is going to allow me to have a growing list, and I can actually email this to myself or to some group mates. And so all you're going to do is you're going to type in their email address, a fun little message here, and say that you're not a robot, hit send, and you're good to go. I'm going to go back to my results though, so that's again saved up here. Make sure you just send those out before you end your session. But another thing I want to show you before I go is that you can save the permanent links here as well. So if you Control-C that or copy it, you can paste it into a new tab, and you'll see that it's coming up with that exact article. So that permanent link allows you to come back to that article in our search. So that can be good if you just have a running Google Doc of different sources that you want to keep track of. You can also email just this item itself. Again, I like to make a list if I'm looking through a lot of different items, but you can email individual items to yourself. Something else that I find extremely useful is this little Cite This item here. If you click on that, it'll actually give you different citation styles to pick from. And I'm going to go with MLA. There's a lot of different ones listed here. And what this is going to do is it's going to format a citation for MLA style. Now, I just want to have a quick word of warning that this is machine generated. So be sure to look it over first, make sure it's following all of the rules of the certain citation style you're going with, and then you're good to go. Again, just be sure to look it over to make sure everything's factual, but this saves a lot of time. All right, and you can just copy and paste that. So that's pretty much everything I wanted to share with you today. All right. And if you have any questions about this, you can quickly chat with us by clicking this right-hand chat with us icon and just type in your first name, your UM-Dearborn email, let us know if you're a student, a grad student, faculty, staff, or alumni, and then let us know your question and someone will be there to help. Other ways you can contact us, going back to this first page, you can go to Contact the Mardigian. You can do this chat here as well. Or you can call us at 313-593-5559. Or you can text us or email us at askthemardigian@umich.edu. Otherwise, you can schedule an appointment or contact librarians individually. All right, thank you so much.